George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. People like Willie Jolley, one of the nation's top motivational speakers, authors. He does just about everything, right? He's the author of several books. You can check out his show on HUR Voices, Sirius XM 141. Willie, I've checked out a lot of shows on 141 lately. You got me listening because you're on there, among other things. But Willie Jolley is a great friend of the program and a mentor and friend of mine. And I really, I ask him every year to come and help us to have a good year, a best year, a great year. So Willie's going to teach us how to win, how to know that it only takes a minute to change your life. to how to have an attitude of excellence, how to turn setbacks into greenbacks. He's gonna do all of that for us today.
Well, first of all, and thank you for letting me be your friend over these probably 20 plus years that I've been involved with the Inspiration for the Nation. I remember when I first heard from you, my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, was out. And this guy named George Kilpatrick reached out and said, Inspiration for the Nation, you got to be on my show. I heard about you and read your book. And man, I was on, and it's been like that since then. We've been best buddies, and wherever I come to Syracuse or you come to DC, we got to connect. So we're kin folks now. But greetings to all the listeners, wherever you may be. You know, those who know me know I always start with, I have only just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. No, I didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, just a tiny little minute. But our eternity's wrapped up in it. So I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to be on with my friend George Kilpatrick for Inspiration for the Nation. And tonight we hope that we will give you some inspiration, some motivation, some information that will help you have transformation for your thinking, your families, your finances, and your future. So I'm honored to be here with my friend, George Kilpatrick.
Willie, it is such a pleasure. And let's start with what the nation is thinking about right now, because you want to talk about a setback. Our dear brother, Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills, even at the time of this conversation, in critical condition in a hospital in Cincinnati, where he's basically fighting for his life after we all witnessed him having cardiac arrest during the Monday Night Football game. So at the time of this conversation, the brother is still in need of our prayers. Right. But it reminds me of what, for his family and how something like that is, you talk about a setback. That is a setback.
Yes. And you know what? I was doing a radio show earlier today, and this topic is something that everybody's talking about. And I said, well, how do you handle this? That this young man, from all the news reports, is a stellar guy. Right. Just a stellar, wonderful, incredible, giving, no drama, no ratchet, no bad press about him, no stuff. What about it? And here's what the answer is, George, is that this is life. In the book, The Road Less Traveled, the first line sums up life. Life is difficult, period. But it's still worth living. It's still wonderful because you have the opportunity, as long as you got breath in your body and you've got some capacity to think, to turn it around. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that young man will ever play football again.
We don't know.
We don't know. But I'm believing and praying and hoping that he will come out of this. But he will come out of this with a new perspective about the world. And I believe that he will come out of this better, greater, more focused, and grateful. And then that he gets that part of his life, that he get that gratitude, that part of his life, things will start to change we got stories over the years in my book, A Setback Set Up for a Comeback, about people who had these tremendous, devastating setbacks. And they turned them into amazing comebacks. And so that is my prayer for this young man. No matter what happens, that he will be a beacon. He will be a beacon. And so I want to say to all those who are listening, you might be going through what I call the devastating D's of life. I don't know where you are in your life, folks, but I know everybody goes through something. One thing I know about everybody's going to have a setback sooner or later. And when you have what I call the devastating D's, a diagnosis, a disease, a divorce, a downsizing, a disaster, a death in your family, you have to make a decision. That's the last D. You got to make a decision. Are you going to let this define the rest of your life, or are you going to take this and make something out of it, something good from the bad, something positive from the negative? That's a decision. That's a choice. That's a determination. And so I hope this young man will come back with such a power out of this. He might have gone when he died. They said they had to resuscitate him twice. He might have seen God in those 2 minutes. I've had people who have seen God when they had life moments, life altering moments. They saw the light. They saw that light, that bright light. And hopefully he'll come out of this, and hopefully he will be totally healthy, and hopefully he'll live a long life. But I don't believe he will ever be the same. He will be transformed.
You know what's fascinating to me is I think about it, how the country has rallied around him, and at the time of this conversation, millions and millions of dollars have been raised from people from all walks of life.
Right.
And why I'm bringing that up is because that's just him being him, right? Right. Because oftentimes, Willie, to get the goal, we think we have to be somebody other than who we are to get there. And he's just being himself, doing the thing. His charity that he was trying to raise $2,500.
Right.
Because he wanted to give back to his community, right? And again, last time I looked, it could be way more than it is now. It's $6 million plus.
Yeah, $6 million. Last I heard, it probably much more by the time this airs.
By the time this airs, right.
And that shows you that out of something bad, something good can come. And we just keep praying. And the power of prayer is powerful. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. I truly believe that. And so I'm encouraging people to keep praying for that young man, even if he's out of the hospital by the time this airs. But whatever the case, that he will be used mightily to make a bigger and greater difference. And so I want to tell everybody, wherever you are, that this is a time of the year where you're going to start planning, you're going to start preparing, you're going to start making some goals or some plans for the year. And along the way to achieving them, there will be some setbacks.
Yeah.
Not maybe, not might. There will be setbacks. But that is why you should be digging your well before you're thirsty. In other words, start putting your pieces in your brain now, before you need them. Start developing your thinking so that when the tough times come, which they will, when the challenges of life come, when they will, when the rainstorms come, when they come, you will not be destroyed. What is it in my setback setup for a comeback book? The stronger the wind, the stronger the trees. There are those that break or bend. Those that bend will come back stronger. So there'll be moments when you got winds and forces that fight against you. But keep coming back with a positive attitude. And you're going to need that this year, because this is going to be a great year for you, because we choose it to be.
That's true. And so I'm interested, by the way, Willie Jolley, of course, motivational speaker, author, talk show host, everything. The brother's bad. PhD. I'm sorry, I forgot to say Dr. Willie Jolley. Excuse me, my brother. I didn't get a brother his propers. He's going to get it later. Dr. Willie Jolley, right?
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
Listen, you worked hard for it.
I did work hard. That thing kicked my behind, George. It did.
Yeah.
You know, some people got honorary doctors. God bless them, but I had to work for mine.
You had to work
I
for
worked
yours.
for mine, and I wrote those papers, and I did that dissertation, and I took those classes, and I did the research. So it was hard, but it was worth it.
You know, and so as I'm thinking about, given what we've gone through, right? So we've gone through the pandemic, and we're still dealing with other pieces of it, and some people have long-term responses to it. Given where we are now, and how I'm thinking about the whole system of how young people are not they're not back to where they were before the pandemic, and so we've got young people sort of in a mental health issue. We've got a lot of change in our society, right? Since we've been talking about all of this, right? And so I'm just wondering, Willie, what do we have to consider, navigate, modify, given the times we're in now? Because we're in a different space right now. And let me lay out how I'm thinking about this, right? What I mean by a different space, we've got people making up stories about elections. We've got people just saying any old kind of thing. Maybe that's too broad as a societal issue, but in the midst of all of that, how can I achieve my goals and objectives, and how can I stay motivated? This is a long question. I probably asked you like 10 questions in one, but
That's thinking all right. I can handle it. I can handle it, George.
I got you.
Handle it.
So check this out. And then I'm thinking about somebody who I really care about, who has a big goal. They've got a health and fitness goal, but I can't seem to motivate them anymore. I tried everything, and it's almost as if they've given up. So I'm taking you that was a whole lot in that one question: society, motivation, societal changes, living through a pandemic, and yet I still want to get the thing that I'm wishing for. Help a brother out.
But first of all, we got societal changes. We got a lot of societal changes. Everybody knows that pandemic has changed us all.
Yeah.
Okay, we will never go back to what we were before the pandemic. We've got people who are now very afraid to go out, afraid to do a lot of things. We got societal changes. We've got drama in the country, which is ongoing. And then you've got people who, in your family and your friends and your network, who may not be motivated to do that which would help them. And here are a couple of things I would recommend. One, when people aren't motivated, as Zig Ziglar says, it's for one of a few reasons. One, they are sick. They're physically sick. Mm-hmm. Two, they're really, really tired. They are mentally ill, or they're unmotivated. Now, and if they're sick, well, you want to get them well. You want medication. You want help. If they're tired, get some rest and work on your vitamins. Maybe you need some vitamins. Mm-hmm. If you're mentally ill, then you need mental health. And if you're unmotivated, then you need resources that will change your thinking. Your input determines your output. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. So what we want to do is, if they're not motivated, we want to start to change the inputs. And many times that's a process. I talk often about the fact my wife, who now runs my company, for many years had no interest in being an entrepreneur. She had a good government job on Capitol Hill. Her parents had been entrepreneurs, and she saw how they worked all the time. And she said, I don't want to work all the time. I'm not going to do that entrepreneur stuff. And so she had no idea, though, the reason they worked all the time was because they loved what they did. They loved it. They worked together, a husband and wife. He was a pastor. She was a first lady, but they also had a grocery store, and they had a laundromat. They worked all the time because they liked being together. And so she didn't realize their motivation was different. So that's why I say to people that it's important that they know their motivation. So once she figured out that she did not want to be an entrepreneur, she shared that with me. Well, I wanted her to be an entrepreneur because I believed together we could make more money and we could do more and we could have greater success and we could travel together. And I had these big goals and dreams, but it was no way I was going to go in there and tell her, you need to get motivated. That ain't gonna work. I already did it. So here's what I did, George, and here's what I recommend you do for your family member. You slowly cook them. You cook them slowly. You know? You throw a frog in a pot of boiling water, they jump right out. But if you put them in cold water in the pot and slowly heat the water, they don't know what hit them. And that's what you got to do with your family member. So here's what I did with my wife. I would take a cassette tape of Think and Grow Rich or The Strangest Secret or some motivational tape. And I would listen to it. And afterwards, I'd go to her and say, I just listened to this tape. I thought it was fantastic, but I want your opinion.
Oh, that's slick. I like that.
You like that? You like that?
I want your opinion.
I want your opinion.
Listen.
I'm stroking her ego. There you go.
Because if you said, I think you should listen to it, it goes to the side.
Shut down.
Wow.
I want your opinion. I do the same for the books. I say, I read this book, but I'd like your opinion on what you think about it. Before long, she said, okay, I'll check it out for you. And she read it. You see, once she got the input in, it changed the output. And before long, she was starting to say, give me another book. Give me another audio. Give me another video. I'm listening in the car. I feel better. I'm going somewhere here. And things started changing. Well, now she runs our company. She's a dyed in the wool entrepreneur. She don't take no prisoners. And it's all because I cooked it slowly, George. So cook them slow. Cook them slow. Don't try and do it fast. It's a process. All right. So just slowly cook them and encourage them along the way. And you will be amazed at the impact.
And so that leads me to my next thought, Willie. Self-sabotage, right?
Yeah.
Where we keep rewinding the tape of our past mistakes. And I know you recently talked about how you do have to learn how to let those things go. But I've observed, and again, and recently, somebody I know who continues to do the thing that's going to set them back over and over again.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Again, it goes back to inputs. That whatever you focus on longest becomes strongest. Grows.
Whatever you focus on longest becomes strongest.
Strongest. Yeah. Yes. And so you must make a commitment to help that person by changing their inputs so that they can start to get different things around them, their exposure, their thinking changes because they see and hear different things. If you listen to negative music all day long and listen to negative television all day long and watch negative movies all day, it's going to have an impact on your thinking. You're going to be negative. That's why you got to have positive, uplifting things in your sphere that will change your thinking and your influence, and it will change your life. So that's why I make a point to read or listen to something positive every day. That's why I try and make sure my family, I give them, rather than giving them a Christmas gift of just some shoes or something, I give them books, I give them audios, I give them things that will change their life. Because I got a new book coming out, George. It'll be out sometime, and we have to do another interview about it because it's a powerful book. The book is called Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better.
Yes. You know, my financial person, Vicky Brackens, would love that title and love that book.
Oh,
Rich is Good,
Wealthy is Better.
Yeah.
And in this book, I talk about the 5 money mindsets. There's the indigent, the people who live their life day to day. Give me enough money to make it through the day with a cardboard box, and you give them enough money and they got to repeat it the next day. Then you got the poor who live 30-day cycles. And at the 31st day, they are wondering where that check is, where that welfare check, that SNAP payment. If they don't get it today, they're going to fall apart. Then you got the middle class who tend to think year to year. Did I make enough money this year? Did I make more money this year than last year? Did I get a cost of living raise? Then you get the rich who tend to think decade to decade. Often we see those in the entertainment or the sports arena, where a baseball player will get a $10 million contract, and he balling for 10 years. But then after 10 years, if he doesn't modify his lifestyle, he is out. Okay, he broke. That's why over 70% of professional athletes are broke after 5 years. And then though you get the wealthy who tend to think generation to generation to generation. Now I'm writing this book, George, and I'm leading there to say that my goal for this book is to get each level of people to go up one level.
One level, okay.
Because see, it'd be too big a jump for the guy who's indigent to have a generational wealth mindset. Too big a chasm. But if I can get him to go to the 30-day level, and I get the 30-day level to go to the 1-year level, and I get that 1-year person to go to the 10-year level, and I get that 10-year level to get to the generational wealth, decades, then and generations of people, then I've done my job. And that's why I say it's a process. And that's what I'm trying to do with this book. That's what I'm trying to do with this year. That's what I'm trying to do with my messaging this year. We're trying to go and grow to the next level. We want more people to have massive success. Whatever you choose to set as your goals. Some people are motivated by money. Okay, that's fine. I got nothing problem with that. So that's fine. That's a good goal. But some people are motivated by, I got a friend, she's not motivated by money. She's motivated by travel. She loves to travel. So that's her motivation. Some people are motivated by family time. Some are motivated by the car they drive. I don't know what it is that your goal is, what your it is. But I do know that goals work. And every year I come on this show and talk about don't set resolutions, set goals. Don't make no resolutions. They're a waste of time. They're a good, feel-good thing you do on the first of the year that by the 20th, 25th of the year, of the month, in fact, you've forgotten. By January 25th, you have forgotten what it was because it has no real substance. Where a goal does. Now, some people think they're the same thing. Well, you set your goals at the beginning of the year. No. And you got your resolution. Oh, no. They're two different things. A resolution is a feel-good thing. It usually like wishing upon a star. I wish upon a star. And I throw a penny in a wishing well, hoping that it'll come true. You don't expect it to come true. But goals change your life. Goals will change your life. Now, last week, I was speaking in St. Martin and Virgin Islands. I'm in French West Indies. English West Indies. Well, French Dutch West Indies. Mm-hmm. And they took me after my speech over to a radio station on the French side for an interview. Mm-hmm. And the owner of the station was in his office, and he came out of his office. He didn't know who the guest was going to be. They just said a guest was coming. And he walks through the studio and sees me seated at the mic. He said, "Oh my God, it's Willie Jolley. Oh my God, it's Willie Jolley. Oh my God, it's Willie Jolley in my radio station. Oh my," he's flipping out. I'm thinking, why is he so excited? He says, "You don't remember me, but I remember you. 25 years ago, you were here in St. Martin and did an interview at a station, and I was the engineer. Mm. And you talked about goals, and you talked about living your dream, and about saving money and pursuing your destiny, and how it's going to take some work, but you could do it." And that was what inspired me. That today, 25 years later, I've got the #1 radio station on the French side. I've got a hardware store, all because of a Willie Jolley. I never thought I'd see you again. Mm. Wow. Goals work, George. They work. And so those goals are what took me from a broke, busted nightclub singer who got fired and replaced by a karaoke machine to transform my thinking, turn that setback into a comeback, and start giving speeches. And then within a decade, being named one of the top 5 speakers in the world, and another 5 years being inducted in the Speaker Hall of Fame, and a few years later being named one of the top 5 leadership speakers, and then being named a legend of the speaking industry, and then best-selling books and television and radio, because I set goals. And that's what I'm trying to encourage people to do today. Set goals. Now, many people don't set goals, George, because they don't know how to. Yeah. They don't know how to, and they get discouraged because it's work, and it's a process, and they're not sure how to do it. So let me tell everybody what you should do. I want everybody to go to winwithwillie.com. winwithwillie, WILLIE.com. Look for the goal setting, goal achieving class. Click it and register. Order that class, pay for that class. It's a 3-hour program, online class. I want you to take it with your family. Y'all sit around the dinner table, put this program on, sit around, and everybody go through the exercises. There's specific exercises that I've done in this class that take your thinking and expand your thinking and grow your thinking so that you can start to be empowered through incredible goal setting processes. And then we tell you not how just to set the goals, but how to get the goals, how to achieve the goals. So good, again, winwithwillie.com. Get the goal setting, goal achieving class. It'll change your life.
And you believe in vision boards.
I do.
Part of that process.
I do.
Imagining where you are.
Well, it's seeing the picture. Now, I'll give you an object lesson, George. Over here, and you can't see it from here, but I can see it over here. I got a picture of me with I got a black shirt, black pants, black shoes, touching a white Tesla. White Tesla. That picture was taken in 2015 at the Atlanta Lenox Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. I'd never seen a Tesla. It was a display model in the middle of the mall. We were there on the Get Motivated tour. Me and my wife and Les Brown and Damon John. We were going, visiting places. We were going to the mall, and I saw that Tesla. I said to my wife, "I've never seen anything like that. It's beautiful." And I said, "Take a picture of me touching this car." And I took the picture. I put it in my office, and I watched it every day. That was 2015. 2016 came around. I'm still watching it. I can't afford a Tesla at that time. 2016 went by and 2017 come around. I'm still watching it. But in 2018, on November the 1st, 2018, I went and bought a white Tesla cash. And drove away that day with my Tesla. Now I got my finger on a jet. Okay, my jet.
Oh. There you go.
But that's the power of visualization. It might not come overnight. It might not come in a day or a couple of days or a week or a month or a year even. But just keep seeing the picture. Why? Because your brain works with pictures. Brain scientists have proven that if I say to you the word rose, think rose. What color? What did you think? Red rose. You ever thought of red rose? Okay. What do other people think? Yellow rose, white rose,
right, pink, right.
But no one thought of the word R-O-S-E.
No.
Because your brain works in pictures. That is why you thought of red rose. It's a picture. And the more you can feed your brain the way it works, that you feed it how it works, then the more you will have greater clarity and more impetus to turn those setbacks and the comebacks and hit these goals. This stuff works, George. It works.
Talking with Willie Jolley, winwithwillie.com for the goal setting class. Take that, williejolly.com for everything else. Listen, I wanted to say something about gratitude and why that is so important in the success that we want for ourselves, why that's such a critical component.
Yeah. Gratitude is a great fuel. It's fuel for the journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's fuel. It keeps you going. It gives you hope. It gives you appreciation. It gives you perspective. Gratitude. Be grateful. There's an old saying that says, hope and gratitude of a picture of something in the future give you power in the present. That expectation, something out there is worth being hopeful for, being grateful for. I'm grateful. When you got a grateful spirit, George, the stuff that knocks other people over
Go ahead.
doesn't keep you from keep going. It knocks them over, but you just keep going because I'm grateful. There's something about being grateful. Something about being thankful. It empowers you. So I'm encouraging people to find something every day to be grateful. Something. What are you grateful for? What's good? I had an old man who used to say, "What's good in your life?" He'd say, tell me something good. What's good? And people think it's just, no, he said, no, I'm serious. Tell me one thing that's good that you can tell me. Well, I woke up. Okay, that's good. I got some clothes on. That's good. I drove my car over here. I had a car to drive. Good. I live in a country where I can at least make some money. Good. I got a job. Good. Whatever. Find something. Because it's easy to find something to be negative about. But when you find something to be grateful for, it gives you power.
And speaking of power, what do I have to let go? Because, there's some things I got to let go.
Yeah, particularly
it's kind of like luggage that you're carrying, and you're supposed to let it go. You're supposed to quit it, but you can't bring yourself to do it. What are some tools to let it go? Those things that we need to let go because it's not helping us get where we want to go.
Four questions that I want you to write down, everybody. Listen carefully. Write these down. These are going to be life-changing. The 4 questions to transform your life, or transform your future, transform your present. Number 1 question, what do I want?
Okay,
what do I want? You got to decide what you want. Whatever it is, you want to be healthy, well, what does that mean? What is the goal? How much weight you want to lose? So what do I want? How much money you want to make? What do I want? Number 2 question. So you said this is what I want. Okay, so now, what are you presently doing to get what you just said you want? Okay? So you say, let's just say I want to lose weight. I want to lose.
Everybody wants to do that, right?
Yeah. Let's say I want to lose 25 pounds, 30 pounds. Okay. What are you presently doing to get what you said you want? Well, I'm going to the gym 3 days a week. Okay. All right, good. Okay. Question number 3. What more could you be doing to get what you want? Since you said that's what you want. Well, I guess I could go to the gym a few more days a week. Okay. I could eat more fruit and nuts and vegetables. I could modify my diet. Okay. And then question number 4. Here's where this gets to what you just asked. What do you want? What are you doing presently to get what you want? You got to answer that question before you answer the 3rd question. What more could you be doing to get what you want? And then what must you stop doing in order to get what you want? So you say you want to lose weight. So this is not something I'm dilly-dallying about. This is what I had to do, George, because I learned one day I was gaining weight and I couldn't figure it out. But I had to take a look at my life and say, what must I stop doing? You got to stop eating that ice cream, Willie, at night before you go to bed. It's not good.
That's what you was doing, bro?
I love chocolate ice cream, and I love chocolate ice cream and some pretzels. I don't know where that combination came, but I like a big doughy pretzel and chocolate ice cream at night. And I would just have a little dessert. Well, it was having an impact. And I said, okay, you say you want to lose weight. What are you doing to lose weight? You're working out 3 days a week. What more could you do? I could go to more 5 days a week, and I could start eating more fruits and vegetables. What must you stop doing? Chocolate ice cream and pretzels at night. I can have them only on Sundays now. I only eat desserts on Sundays. That's my 1 day a week. I don't starve myself. I don't keep myself from once a week. And let me tell you, it changed my body. It changed my diet. You had to ask yourself and be honest. What must you stop doing in order to get what you just said you want?
Listen, I hear you.
Okay, and it's hard, but it's doable.
So listen, here's my question for you. You recently, and I said this to you, we're at the beginning of the year, and so usually we end the year with the Kwanzaa celebration, and you were, I really love what you're doing. By the way, this brother, every day I get a message from you in my email.
Yes.
And you talked
It
about the
goes a
Kwanzaa
lot. It
principles.
goes to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Free.
Thank you.
Everybody can get it. Absolutely free. Just go to wjwow.com. Sign up for that daily message and get some goodies. WJ Wow. We're going to wow you. World of Willie. WJ World of Willie. WJ Wow. WOW.com. Anyway, you get these 1 minute messages. And you were saying.
So you recently did a series on Kwanzaa, and that's what I've been. We celebrate Kwanzaa and we put it into our daily life, and we do a Kwanzaa with the family, and we actually use Kwanzaa, Willie, to actually do our affirmations for the year, our desires and hopes for the year. But I try to tell people about. I share with people that this is about living the principles, and so you did a whole series every day on Kwanzaa and how to live them. And so how can people incorporate, how in those messages, you were showing us how to incorporate these principles in our lives,
Yes.
Self-determination, Kujichagulia, Umoja, Nia, purpose, Ujama, cooperative economics, Kuumba, Imani, right? And Ujima, right?
Let me give you a couple of those, because let me tell you, here's the interesting thing. I have a number of people who are not Black, who are big followers of mine, who sent me wonderful notes saying, I had no idea this was what Kwanzaa was all about. The way you explained it, I get it now. And I realize you don't have to be Black, African American, to appreciate the principle and the lesson. So let me give you one. Emoja means unity, which stresses the importance of working together to achieve greater results. Unity is reflected in the African saying, I am because we are. Jesus taught that a house divided against itself cannot stand. You must have unity. There are benefits for working together. If you ever see geese flying together, they fly in a V. The one at the front is hitting the headwinds, the hardest pace. But the interesting thing is that they rotate, and everybody gets a shot at hitting the headwind, because they know that the harder the winds, the stronger the wings. And that if they work together, they will fly faster, fly higher, and get to their chosen destination quicker. So you must have unity and you must work together. If you do, you'll win more and you'll win quicker. Then there is Kujichagulia, which means self-determination, where you have made the decision that you're going to not let anyone else define you or determine your destiny except you. And it's the self-worth, the contributions of making this world better when we leave it than when we got here. It's a determination, a declaration that you will not let your destiny or your work be determined by anything but you. It takes hard work. It takes working hard, working smart, and trusting God. And when you do that, you will have courage. Scripture teaches us, be strong and of a good courage. Do not be afraid. Do not be dismayed, for God is with you always, when and wherever you go, as long as you go with him. Go with him. Go good with him, because you and God together, you make a majority. Then there is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Working like a team, thinking like a team, so you can win like a team. If you take one horse that by itself can pull 1,500 pounds and another horse that by itself can pull 1,200 pounds, you would think together they could pull 2,700 pounds.
You would think.
But when they come together, they create a thing called momentum. A third horse is created, a force. And where they were 115 and 112 by themselves, together, when they come together and create that momentum, together they can pull over 4,500 pounds. That is what the key of making a point to think like a team, work like a team, win like a team, create strategic alliances. People, you help them, they help you. I was on tour with Stephen Covey, who said, of the 7 habits for highly effective people, the most powerful is win-win. That if I can help you win more and you can help me win more, we win together. All right. Then there is the next principle, which is one you talked about, which is Ujama, which is collective cooperative economics. We've got to talk about economics. We've got to talk about wealth creation. We have for long talked about the things that don't matter, and we focused on, we minor in the majors and major in the minors. We don't deal with the financial things. Collective cooperative economics is the financial power that is created in a community when you spend money and support the businesses in your own community. Cooperative economics will encourage us to spend our money in the community we live with to meet common needs, to help the community to get the wealth. As the tide rises in the community, all the boats in the community should also rise. If we live in a community and support the businesses in that community, the community will get stronger and grow. But if you don't support the business in that community, those businesses will shrink up and shrivel and go out of business. Hey, I like to say as often as you can, put your money in a black hand. I was speaking for the Orthodox Jewish financial planners. I love those folks because they invite me year after year, but I learned from them.
Mm-hmm.
And how they came. I was the only African-American, only person of color in the whole meeting. But how they would come up to me and look at my books. It only takes a man to change your life. Setbacks, set up for comeback. Turn setbacks into greenbacks. Attitude of excellence. Chicken soup for the soul. Make love, make money, make it last. They touch my books. They look at them and say, they're great books. We love your books, but we can't buy them. Because we must buy our books from people in our community. That's culture.
They just told you that.
Oh, it was not racist. It was not they said that is how the culture works. We must support. Their money supports their community. They touch that money 8 times in their community. 8 times, 8 hands touch that money before it goes out of the community. It lasts days in their community versus with us 1 hour.
What's that saying? Put some black hands, put some money in black hands if you can. What'd you say?
Yeah. As often as you can, put your money in a black hand.
As often as you can. As often as you can.
You can't do it all the time. Okay.
Right.
But as often as you can, put your money in the black hand. Get a black printer, a black company who does your laundry, a black company who maybe does your cutting the grass or something in your community. Find somewhere where you can support some small businesses that look like you. And then the imani, which means faith. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is calling forth those things that be not as though they are, calling them into being. It's honoring the best in our history and traditions and helping every one of us to strive for a higher level of self-worth by affirming our self-worth, our self-confidence, and a belief in ourselves, a belief in our dreams, and a belief in a God who will never leave you nor forsake you. Got to have faith. Imani means faith. I'm encouraging you to go into this new year with faith, with expectation that there'll be setbacks, there'll be challenges, there'll be difficulty, but God knows as long as I've got God and me and him together, we can win. And we can do this. So we got to take some steps of faith. We got to step out on faith. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be some moments. I'm stepping out on faith on a number of things this year. We got our own publishing company. We published our marriage book. I'm going to publish these other books that come out. I got this new music project, the music motivation project. It's called Music Power Book. Go to musicpowerbook.com. Musicpowerbook.com. It will lift your spirit. I'm producing that. I put that out. We've got a new one-man show, the Broadway style show we're going to put out. These are things that I have said, television and radio. You know, we got the XM show, #1 self-help show in the country. We got the daily radio show on Radio 1. We got our daily digital program that you get in your email every day. We got our social media. But what is the best and yet can be done this year? Keep dreaming. Keep going. And me and God, put this thing on the road and take it to the next level.
You've shown us how to do it. You've given us the blueprint. Now we just have to do the work.
What do you want? What are you doing to get what you want? What more could you do? And then what you would stop doing? Do the work.
Do the work. That's Willie Jolley, y'all. Willie, you gave a whole lot of information, brother. What's the best way to get to all of it?
Go to winwithwillie.com. Oh, that's my new site, George. And it's got all my sites. It's got williejolly.com there. It's got jollymarriage.com, Jolly Good News faith-based site, my Jolly Motivation site, our speaker site if you want to be a speaker. We got our goal-setting site, all in one place. It's one-stop shop. Go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com.
And do you have your training?
Yeah, we have our speaker training. We got our entry level where we have people who go there and get it for $90. I think it's $100 or something like that, $199, whatever. And let me tell you how that came to be. Me and Les Brown were talking and said, people want to be speakers, and some of these folks are charging $20,000, $30,000 just to get started. I wouldn't be able to do that when I started. So I said, I'm gonna do the same thing they're doing, but I'm gonna do it for $100, a little over $100, $197. And I'm gonna do a 3-hour training, and they can get it and download it and learn it. And it's on that winwithwillie.com. But then we have a once a year a speaker symposium, how to speak, how to write books, how to do radio and television. That's going to be in April of this year, 2023, and we do one in November. But we're definitely going to do one in April because we had so many people in the one in November that we have to do a second one in April. So good look. This is where we are. We're going to grow, 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 go, go, go. It's inspiration for the nation, baby.
WinWithWillie.com. George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation. That's Willie Jolley, y'all. Dr. Willie Jolley with the recipe for success. And it starts with an attitude of excellence right
Amen.
Here on Inspiration for the Nation.